identify patient using at least 2 identifiers, for example, name and birthday or name and medical record number, according to agency policy. And now I'll be reviewing patient's electronic health record to assess for factors that influence the patient's respiration, and determine previous baseline respiratory rate when available from patient's electronic health record, and assess patients' or family caregivers' knowledge, experience, and health literacy. And after that, I should also perform hand hygiene because it is important. It's the best way to prevent infection and prevent transfer of microorganisms. And next, I should also assess for signs and symptoms of respiratory alterations and those symptoms that influence the patient's respiration. And now, I should also assess the patient's knowledge of and prior experience with respiratory measurement and feelings about the procedure. The planning, I should determine expected outcomes following completion of the procedure. If patient has been active, I should also wait for 5 to 10 minutes before assessing respirations. And now I should also ensure that patient is in comfortable position, preferably sitting or lying with head of bed elevated 45 to 60 degrees. And I should also provide privacy and explain procedure to the patient. Sir, okay ka lang ba tayo natata? Comfortable ka matlaing nga nakatugaw ka, sir? Or kahit mo nakaita?
Wala mo lang sila.
Ngam, anya ti mas comfortable ka nakatugaw ka, sir? Ken atoy obra exercut alaek iti panaganos mo ti imay nga minuto so maamuan tayo na normal matlaeng ti panaganos mo ngawan ti komplikasyon na, sir. And after explaining the procedure and providing privacy, I should organize and set up any equipment needed to perform the procedure. After performing hand hygiene, I place patient's arm in a relaxed position across abdomen or lower chest, leaving fingertips on the wrist or placed on hand directly over patient's upper abdomen. And now, I should observe complete respiratory cycle. And after that, I should observe the cycle, look at second hand or watch, and begin to count rate. When sweep hand, hit number on dial, begin time frame, counting 1 with first full respiratory cycle. Sir, relax kay laing. Alaik lang iti panaganos mo kinaisahin. After that, I should count number of respiration when rhythm is regular in 30 seconds and multiply by 2. Like when rhythm is irregular, less than 12 or greater than 20, I should count again for 1 full minute. After that, I should note depth of respirations by observing degree of chest wall movement while counting rate. Assess depth by palpating chest wall, excursion, or auscultating posterior thorax after rate counting. After that, I should describe the depth as shallow, normal, or deep. After that, I should note rhythm, ventilatory cycle. Do not confuse sighing with abnormal rhythm. So we should not be confused of any other activities of the patient while assessing for respiration. And now, after that, I should replace bed linen and patient's gown and bed linen and help patient to a comfortable position. If the patient is in bed or if he's in bed lying or sitting. And now I should discuss the result or the finding with patient and document according to agency policy. After that, after discussing the findings with the patient and documenting according to agency policy, I should dispose of all contaminated supplies on the proper receptacle, and I should remove and dispose gown or gloves also when used. And of course, I should perform hand hygiene again and raise side rails if the patient is in bed, sitting or lying, and I should lower the bed to lowest position, locking into position. And after that, I should place the nurse call system in an accessible location within patient's reach. Okay kay medlain, sir? After that, for the evaluation, I should also consider assessing respirations for first time and establishing rate, rhythm, and depth as baseline when within acceptable range. I should also compare respirations with patients' previous baseline and usual rate, rhythm, and depth. And now, I should also correlate respiratory rate, depth, and rhythm with data obtained from pulse oximetry and ABG measurements when available. And now, I'll be assessing or using teach back. So, I should also revise instructions if patient, family, caregiver is not able to teach back correctly. So, considering the patient is considering patient's age, I should I should also consider using teach back because we can say the patient cannot explain or understand, obtain, and communicate basic health information. And for documentation, I should also document respiratory rate, depth, and rhythm according to agency policy. And now I'll be also documenting measurement of respiratory rate after administration of specific therapies per agency policy. After that, I should also document evaluation of patient and family caregiving learning. And lastly, for documentation, I should document type and amount of oxygen therapy when used per agency policy. And for handoff reporting, I should report abnormal findings appropriately and report need for oxygen therapy.